Hello friends, this astrologer is Saroj. You are watching my channel Astrologer Saroj, and this has been a series of Ketu series. Do subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon in order to receive the notifications for the upcoming videos, and enjoy the amazing and research-based content on Vedic astrology. And so far as the Ketu's influence and impact in first house is concerned, its impact is quite malefic, quite ridiculous, I will say. It's neither benefic. So before proceeding and discussing about the impact of Ketu in the first house for Sagittarius Ascendant native, let us have a general overview about Ketu in Vedic astrology. So far as Rahu and Ketu are concerned, they are both considered as malefic planets in Vedic astrology. Actually, you might be knowing these are shadowy planets, and why they have been considered as planets, it's because of the impact and the role they are playing in a horoscope, just like other planets. So it makes the astrologers to declare, it has made them declare that it's a planet. Actually it is a planet in Vedic astrology, and it has been unanimously accepted that Rahu and Ketu are planets given their role in Vedic astrology, and their role can't be ignored at all. Now the general overview about Ketu is that Ketu is a malefic planet, and we can't expect a benefic results from a malefic planet irrespective of its planet in Kendra house or its best planet placement in 5th house or 11th house and whatsoever. The point is that in extremely exceptional cases we say that Ketu gives good results. I'll discuss that video separately when it gives exceptionally good results, but it's a case of extremely exceptional cases where we expect good results from Ketu, but we don't recommend cat's eye gemstone at all in such situations also, because uh, giving gemstone for Ketu is the means that we are increasing the malefic influence of Ketu, isn't it? So the remedies for gemstones, the remedies for Ketu, they are different. Rather than wearing gemstones, they are different remedies given to Ketu in order to lessen the impact of Ketu in a chart. Now, so far as Sagittarius Ascendant chart is concerned, we say that Ketu is a malefic planet, and if it's placed in 6th, 8th, or 12th houses, its malefic influence increases. And the other important point about Ketu is that it takes the characteristics of the house in which it's placed, and it's placed in the 5th house. For example, it's placed in the 6th house, it will take the characteristics of that house. And the most important point is that the Ketu does not have its own sign. Its lordship is not defined. It does not own any sign at all, isn't it? Among the 12 signs, it does not own any one. So few astrologers say that they give Scorpio Lagna, Scorpio sign to Ketu, but that's not correct. That's not correct at all. It's a malefic planet. It does not have any lordship at all. It does not have its has its own specific sign. So what is the lord of, which is the lord of then Ketu? See, the sign in which its placed becomes lord. In case of Sagittarius Ascendant native, here Ketu is placed in Sagittarius Ascendant. It's placed in the Sagittarius sign. Its lord is Jupiter. So Jupiter becomes lord of Ketu in this case. Now it depends whether Jupiter is strong. If Jupiter is strong, in this case, lord of Ketu is strong, it will curb the impact of Ketu. In this case, it will play an important role in controlling the impact of Ketu, but not 100%. To some extent, to the great extent, I'll say that it will play a role in controlling impact of Ketu. And other factors are also responsible if favorable aspects go to Ketu, and if malefic influence, for example, if moon afflicts Ketu, in this case the malefic influence of uh, Ketu, that multiplicates, that becomes multiple. So there are other factors that need to be taken into consideration while analyzing the impact of Ketu in a chart, but the malefic influence, the impact will be malefic always, because the planet itself is malefic. So there are two versions of so far as impact of Ketu in the first house in case of Sagittarius Ascendant is concerned. First version is that long-lived impact. The second is the short-lived impact. Now the question arises, what do we mean by long-lived impact? By long-lived impact, we mean that the Ketu has malefic influence. Ketu impacts an ascendant irrespective of its time period in operation. What does this mean? In other words, we say that Ketu influences, the malefic influence of Ketu persists irrespective of Antardasha or Mahadasha of Ketu, irrespective of sub period or main period of Ketu. That persists, and that is one of the challenging issues and challenge in most of the charts. And so far as this chart is concerned, the Sagittarius chart. So that is irrespective of Antardasha, irrespective of Mahadasha. The role and the impact of Ketu that persists. And the person feels problems. He faces problems due to Ketu. Now what is the remedy? That is a different thing. The other version is that that's a short-lived impact. That means when Ketu is placed in the Lagna, Ketu is placed in the first house, it means that its impact will only be pronounced. Its impact will be only felt when its time period is in operation, when its Antardasha and Mahadasha takes place, isn't it? When its Antardasha or Mahadasha occurs, only then the impact of Ketu is visible in the life of a native. Once the Antardasha is over, the impact of Ketu is over. This is what we call short-lived time period. Short-lived time period. Now, what are the results of Ketu placed in first house? See, the results will be malefic. Since the planet is malefic, the results will be malefic. It's not that it's placed in the first house that it will be malefic. No, that's not correct. That's illogical, and practically that's not viable, because it has been creating problems to most of the natives and to all ascendants, whether in first house, second house, whether in Kendra house, whether in trine houses. In any placement, that is quite dangerous, and that's quite malefic for each and every ascendant. Now what is the result? If, depending on the strength of Jupiter, if the Lagna Lord is weak, utterly weak, the person is disturbed mentally, is mentally disturbed, is mentally retarded. And depending, it also depends on the strength of other planets, strength of Mercury, strength of Moon, strength of Jupiter as well, we'll say that. And the extent to which the impact of Ketu will be there depends on the nature of the chart. We can't generalize about that impact will be 90%, the malefic influence will be 70%, it will be 80%. No, it depends on the nature of the chart. The influence will be, the person will be detached from the people. He will have setbacks in business partnerships, he will have setbacks in marital life, and he will face impediments in conceiving a baby, in conceiving a child, with respect to children. So it also depends on the strength of Jupiter as well in this case. And he'll face serious fevers, spoils, and injuries as well, and setbacks with respect to general fortune as well. So these are the main results of Ketu placed in the first house, and taking into consideration all the factors. The other side of the coin is the transit. It is a natal Ketu and there is a transit Ketu. We have to see the transit Ketu as well, and what is the role of transit Ketu. Is there any affliction that is coming from transit to birth chart, and from birth chart to transit, and from transit to transit, what we call triple transit. Triple transit triggering influence is one of the challenging situation for a native to deal with, and every challenge is faced by native calmly if the Lagna Lord is strong. If the Ascendant Lord is strong, he is able to survive in each and every situation. If the Lagna Lord is weak, he is unable to bear the malefic influence and triple transit like things. If the Lagna Lord is weak, he is unable to make progress, and he is unable to defend himself in health and other issues as well, when there is unfavorable transit of Ketu. So this is the simplest content about Ketu and the results of Ketu in the first house in case of Sagittarius ascendant native. And the factors I have mentioned need to be taken into consideration as a whole. It's not the one thing that Ketu will destroy. No, all the factors need to be taken into consideration while analyzing the impact of Ketu in the first house. And one positive thing is that Ketu does not become double malefic in this case, because it's placed in the first house. It's not placed in the 6th, 8th, 12th or 8th house in this case. So the placement is in the first house, but the results will be negative, and it will depend on the nature of the chart to which extent the impact will be pronounced for the native. It will depend on the nature of the chart accordingly, And this is all about the impact of Ketu in case of Sagittarius ascendant native. Okay, it's my suggestion, it's my recommendation to all the Sagittarius ascendant natives. Please and please, if they are wearing uh, gemstone for cat Ketu, if they are wearing cat's eye, please do remove cat's eye, because you have been facing problems with cat's eye, but you are unable to understand that you have been facing with cat's eye. You yourself don't know, as a user of cat's eye, you yourself don't know that you have been facing uh, setbacks in business partnership, you have been facing setbacks in marital life due to wearing cat's eye, isn't it? So it's my recommendation and it's my request to you: remove cat's eye in order to receive mental peace, in order to receive positive things in life. Because by wearing cat's eye, it will increase the energy of Ketu, it will strengthen Ketu, and by strengthening Ketu, it means that you are strengthening the malefic influence of the, you are increasing the malefic influence of Ketu in your chart, and that is not good thing for you, not at all, never ever. So it's my recommendation to remove it, isn't it? Do subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon, and for the upcoming, for the notifications of the upcoming videos, and do share the videos accordingly more and more. This is all about this video. Thank you.